are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality.
Talk to me so you can see.
Good afternoon, the United States of America. I mean, around the world. How are you doing? You are live on the Los Angeles Civil Rights Association Speaks Out. And you know what we do on our radio show. We talk about amendment rights. We talk about civil rights. We talk about constitutional rights. And we talk about human rights. You know, if you don't exercise your rights, then any changes won't be made. Our theme song for today is by Mr. Michael Jackson. They don't really care about us. Now, we're going to do what we always do when we have our very, very distinguished guests on the show. We're going to start off right here on this side. Sir?
Good afternoon, Eddie. I'm here representing the United States Census. My name's Al Fontenot, and I run the census area for the greater Los Angeles area. Most of us will start to get our census forms in the mail next week.
Yes, sir.
The census is there because the U.S. Constitution in Article 1, Section 2 establishes that every 10 years we conduct a census of everyone living in the United States.
So what we're going to do is we're going to come back and elaborate on that if it's okay, Al.
Perfect.
And let's finish getting our introductions here. And right there.
Miranda Lewis, co-producer.
Yes.
Geraldine Hughes.
DJ. How you doing, DJ?
Good afternoon, all the listeners out there, and also the streamers. Good afternoon to you.
Taj, representing Facebook family.
Okay, and then we have, come on, Alana.
Julie,
Alana.
is his personal assistant.
All right, and we have Sharon. She's in the studio. We have Alana.
Michael Kiss, how you doing?
Michael Kiss. And last but not least, we have Priya. And so, hi, Priya. How you doing?
I'm okay.
All right, how old are you, Priya?
I'm 11.
All right, she's our youngest guest on the show, and she's here to be educated, so we're going to pass out education while we're doing the show. And, of course, you know I'm your host, Eddie Jones, president of the Los Angeles Civil Rights Association. And as you well know, we are really sticking on the Michael Jackson case. We're not going to get off of it. We're going to get on it in a minute. Just want to touch on a couple of things. First thing I want to touch on is UC San Diego. As you well know, the Compton Cookout, we are totally against the Compton Cookout at UC San Diego. So this is what everyone is doing. They're coming together on March the 20th. March the 20th, we're all coming together. We're going down to UC San Diego. We're going to meet there with Isadora Hall and other activists and other organizations from UC colleges around the system. And we're going to make sure that our presence is felt because strength runs in numbers. And so we will take numbers to UC San Diego on March the 20th. If you want to go to, just join us down there. We'll be there at 10 a.m. in the morning, okay, on March the 20th. I dare you to get out and stand up for something that you believe in, all right? So that's it for UC San Diego. The other thing we want to go on right now is the census. I want you to know if you're not counted, then you can't get any funds in your community. You can't get any funds if you're not counted. Speaking of being counted, can we just clap for our president, Obama? Now, let me give you my spiel on President Obama. He's doing a wonderful job. He's the first African-American to ever sit in that seat. Give him a chance to do his job. You keep saying this is not going on, that's not going on. I don't know who you are, but you helped vote him in. So now you have to allow him to do his job. Yes, there's new jobs. Yes, there's money out there. Yes, America is better than it's been. I'll tell you what, when Bush was president, boy, were we in trouble, and boy, did he leave us in a great big mess. So Obama had to come in and pick up all these dirty closets and all this dirty stuff, and he had to come in and clean house and do his job as the president of the United States of America. And if you ask me, he's doing a great job. He's fighting for our civil rights, constitutional rights, our human rights, and our rights to be Americans. If you like what I said, just clap your hands. Okay, so leave my President Obama alone. We support you, Obama. We love you. Michelle, we love you. And the girls, aren't they beautiful? The girls are beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, okay, let's go right over to Al. Al, how are you?
Fine, Eddie. Thank you. First thing I'd like to do is give you 2 Be Counted hats
to
and
be
a
counted?
couple of gold pins.
And let me see that.
Symbolize the...
Oh, my hat?
the drive that we have right now that everyone is counted.
Oh, my 2 pins. Can you see this hat right here? Can you just...
Gold census pins.
I have been given a hat, and I will wear this, okay, because I want to be counted. We all need to be counted so we can get these funds in our community, right?
Absolutely. Let's talk about why we need to be counted.
Okay.
There is $430 billion a year in federal monies that flow to our local communities based on the numbers from the census. So, number one, if you're not counted, your share of that $430 billion goes to some other community. Every one of us must be counted.
So, Al, let me tell you, because we have a really lot going on, but I wanted people to hear about the census because a lot of people don't know. How do we get right down to getting counted?
The first thing you do when you get your form, mail it back. Fill it out. It's a simple form this year. 10 questions, less than 10 minutes to fill it out for the average household.
Now, I got to ask you, Al, when these people fill out these forms and they get them back in, what type of funds come to the community and what do those funds do?
Every citizen's allocated section right now is about $1,400 per year for everyone that's counted. And those funds go for schools, they go for roads, they go for grants for community organizations, they go for Head Start program, for job training programs. It makes our community better.
Does it go for city workers because they're getting laid off?
It also goes to help support city workers,
well,
yes.
We have to support education because how can our kids thrive on their education if they're cutting out teachers and firing them? So the census money will help keep the teachers hired?
You're absolutely right, Eddie. And the problem has been the minority communities have traditionally not participated in filling out their census forms, so we have not gotten our fair share of the money that comes back to our community.
Okay, so one more time, elaborate on, can they go on the internet and read about you guys? Or
they can go on the internet at www.census.gov and read all about the census, but you have to fill out the mailed-in form, or if you don't fill out the mail-in form, we'll send the census worker around to knock on your door and sit down with you and fill out the form with you.
Okay, so everybody hear me out there. It is so important that you are counted. Everyone at the sound of my voice that can see, you need to be counted, okay? Because if you're not counted, then we can't spend the money where it needs to be spent. And you know, money needs to go on education, our city workers, our fellow Americans, and America. And for all my friends out there around the world, wherever you are, I guess there's going to be a census on the world, too, pretty soon, right?
Well, right now, we're worried about the census for the United States. If you're a United States resident and you're living someplace else, we count you, too.
Okay, is that a promise?
That's a promise.
Okay. You guys heard it live. Clap it up for Al. Let's give Al a big hand. Now, you know, I was joking when I was talking about counting the world. We're worried about the United States of America. You know, I like to have a little fun on my show. Every now and then, you know, even though we talk about civil, constitutional, and human rights, it's not a joke about being counted. It is not a joke about being counted. Please, stand up, be counted. Let's get these funds in so they can take care of our communities. All right. So, thank you so much, Al.
It's our pleasure. Thank you for inviting us to be here.
And I'm going to wear my hat, too.
All right. I'll look forward to that.
And my button, too.
All right.
All right. Now, we're going to go right into a wonderful book. We have shown this book on several occasions, and this is a very, very wonderful book. This book has a lot of pertinent information in it, and the author who wrote this book, Mrs. Geraldine Hughes. How you doing, Geraldine?
Doing fine.
Can we clap it up for Geraldine Hughes? Geraldine, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me on your program today.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you because, you know, you and I did something very, very special. Last week, we made an announcement about something that we wanted to do. But before we do that, remember when Brian Oxman came on the show? And he was on the show?
Right.